and welcome to another episode of Our Kinky Kindles, the podcast where smut is better with friends.
Oh, friends.
Hello, we are back again with another Allie Hazelwood.
Another Allie Hazelwood, and it is the Stimonist novella series. Loath to Love You is the grouping of all three novellas. And it is also, it's kind of like a the smut tricks, the smutception. This is because they also agree that smut is better with friends.
Yes, they do.
Mara, Hannah, and Sadie, they understand this concept to be true. Because these novellas are about three best friends who became best friends in grad school. So
It's
sweet.
so cute.
Like us. This is the second one. Y'all, if you want to hear the first one, Under One Roof, where we just basically fangirl over Liam Harding.
That's right.
Yes, his last name is actually Harding.
That was real.
That was real for this fictional character.
Yeah.
Where we fangirl over him. That is our previous episode, Under One Roof.
Yes,
This
go
is our
check
little,
out that previous episode. It's last week's episode.
Yes, our little mini-series moment.
Yes, we're doing shorter episodes for these little novellas.
Yeah, also because we have a tattoo appointment.
That's right.
We have somewhere to be in a moment.
We have to be leaving this house in an hour so I can get words etched into my skin. So
It's very important. And for me to try on words on my skin, it would be my first, y'all. I have never gotten a tattoo.
Yes, she's going to do it. Anna loves chaos.
I really do. I am so much more likely to do crazy shit if I don't plan it.
Yeah.
If it's like out of nowhere, I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
But if I have to plan it, I'm going to overthink it. And
Yeah.
so, yes, chaos. I know that our podcast listeners love hearing where we are going to be after the podcast. Because they're hopping into a little slice of our lives
That's
with
right.
us. And we enjoy that. That's the best part. I listen to many podcasts like that.
Yeah, I love a little chatty moment.
Yes, and we know y'all love it too, or else you wouldn't be listening to our craziness.
You wouldn't be here.
We're wild. Okay, Stuck With You. We did this for the last one, but I recently, maybe our listeners, this has occurred to y'all too, but my cat Hobbs, he's an orange cat, Calvin and Hobbs. Look at him. Look at his belly. He's a very large orange and white cat, and he's doing it. It's very
orange cat.
It's very hard for him to catch his tail because of his girth. I'm sorry, all cat bodies are good bodies, but
I love you.
he's just very dumb. I just really love him.
He's an orange cat, and this orange cat doesn't ever get to have the orange cat brain cell.
He really doesn't.
They never let him have it.
The brain cell never really goes to him. It's not fair. To be clear, he's been doing this the whole time we've been recording. So every time I've looked over, I'm just watching him dance in a circle. And then he catches it. It looks like if he had a little penis. It looks like he's playing with a little penis, but it's the tip of his tail.
He knows this podcast.
Yes, he knows the content. He knows that it's welcome here. But what I was saying before he started doing this adorable thing is Goodreads has a cute little synopsis that I feel is either written by the publisher or by Allie Hazelwood herself. Don't know why I haven't been reading that. But now I am.
Let's do it.
So the cute little synopsis for Stuck With You, the Stimonist novellas #2, begins like this. Nothing like a little rivalry between scientists to take love to the next level. Mara, Sadie, and Hannah are friends first, scientists always. Though their fields of study might take them to different corners of the world, they can all agree on the universal truth. This is the same intro as the last one.
Yeah, it sure is.
When it comes to love and science, opposites attract and rivals make you burn. Logically, Sadie knows that civil engineers are supposed to build bridges. However, as a woman of STEM, she also understands that variables can change. And when you're stuck for hours in a tiny New York elevator with the man who broke your heart, you earn the right to burn that brawny blonde bridge to the ground. Eric can apologize all he wants, but to quote her rebel leader, she'd just as soon kiss a Wookiee.
There's a lot of Star Wars in this book.
Oh my God.
So much Star Wars. It's so good.
Sidebar regarding Harrison Ford. I'm going to set my foot down for a second. He might have been my sexual awakening, honestly.
So we talked about this.
Have we discussed?
Yes.
Specifically Harrison Ford?
Because you first said Dick Van Dyke. And then you corrected yourself and said, no, actually, Harrison Ford. And Indiana Jones.
Listen.
Specifically.
Was this recorded on the podcast or was this because, okay, I'm sure we've actually just said this to each other at some point. But so, okay. The only reason I say Dick Van Dyke is because I loved the Dick Van Dyke Show, which I'm sure has got terrible content now that if I watched it as an adult, I'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe I ever recommended this. So, y'all, I apologize in advance. I was young and in a cult. But then also Mary Poppins. I loved him in Mary Poppins. But the VHS tape that we had recorded, the live TV versions of Mary Poppins and Star Wars Episode 1, they were on the same VHS tape.
Back to back.
And so I think maybe, and it was Star Wars first and then Mary Poppins, I think, or vice versa. So I think I was turned on by one or the other, and that's why I got into them. But Harrison Ford, specifically A New Hope, not Episode 1. I'm sorry. I'm not a crazy person.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy. I promise. Episode 4, A New Hope. At the time, it was Episode 1.
Right. Back in the day.
Back in the day. My parents saw it on their honeymoon. But, yes, Harrison Ford, especially OG Harrison Ford. Oh, my God. He's my rebel leader.
Super hot. Super hot.
Super
He's
hot.
A smuggler.
Yes! He's
a rebel without a cause.
He's a rebel without a cause. The Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's my type. And would we say that Jay favors... He's blonde.
Sure.
He doesn't behave at all.
In your brain,
Ford.
I sure.
In my brain, I think he falls into the same category.
Okay.
I really do think so.
I don't. They're not dissimilar.
Okay.
Hey,
thumbs up.
well, they're both like square with men with textured hair.
They're square men with textured hair. Okay. I feel like because you just said that Harrison Ford is really hot, you cannot say that Jay is in the same category. I think that's your brain like trying to help you out there. So I'll just say for our listeners, Jay strongly favors Harrison Ford. You're welcome. Let me continue this review. Not even the most sophisticated of Sadie's superstitious rituals. She's not superstitious.
She's just a little stitious.
Sadie's superstitious rituals could have predicted such a disastrous reunion. But while she refuses to acknowledge the siren call of Eric's steely forearms or the way his voice softens when he offers her his sweater, Sadie can't help but wonder if there might be more layers to her cold-hearted nemesis than meet the eye. Maybe, possibly, even burned bridges can still be crossed.
I think so. Let's see.
I don't know. What could possibly go on?
So full disclosure, I have the 3 novellas in one book, and so yes. I'm going to be in like the 100s for my pages, but it's actually the beginning of the book. So, sorry.
Yes, mine, I must have gotten these, but I know I got them before she published them all in 3 together, in the novella cluster, cluster of goodness. But, so mine, but Kindle pages, the points are made up.
Yeah.
The rules are made up and the points are made up.
That's right. So page 127 in chapter 1, Eric Nowak, the last person I ever wanted to see, appeared in all his blonde, massive Viking glory. And I wrote here, okay, great. So this one is Anna's type. Last time we got one that was mine, and
just squarely mine.
Yeah, and then I wrote maybe the third one will be like a beautiful balance.
Can confirm.
Yeah, he's extremely large.
Speaking of extremely large,
what?
Here come our 2 strapping young men.
Oh, okay. And
they are bringing in listeners. I'm going to keep talking because this is exactly what I wanted. We're leaving this in. I have moved offices this week, and this is my couch from my other office that I requested that my strapping Viking man carry into my home. And Katie's strapping Liam Harding type is helping assist carry this big ass white couch into my home. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was for free.
Thank you. They go to pickleball and then they help us carry my couch in.
That's right.
Wow, what a beautiful intermission moment. They're going to bring all the pillows now. So we'll continue to record. This is not technically confidential.
It's going to be just fine. You'll
Adorable.
get a little bit of bonus content.
My favorite kind. Welcome to a slice of our actual lives.
Yeah. Okay, page 132. There are, without a doubt, giant heaps of worse things in the world. Wet socks, PMS, the Star Wars prequels, which, okay, I know that they're not.
We could have a whole other episode about this.
I know. Episode 1 is bad. Episode 1 is bad.
Episode 1, what's his name? The
Qui-Gon Jinn.
No, not Qui-Gon Jinn.
R2-D2?
No! The noodles.
The noodles.
God, if we weren't trying to think of his name, I would have his name. He talks like this.
Oh, Jar Jar Binks. The noodles.
Jar Jar Binks, y'all. He's got noodles. He's got 2 noodles coming straight out of his head. I know that's his species.
I get it. Episode 1 is bad. Episode 3
Hot.
is really hot.
It's so hot. Hayden Christensen. I used to have a screen grab, like a Windows 2000 or whatever, screen grab of the DVD from Hayden Christensen as my wallpaper on my computer in high school. My homeschool computer.
Turning to the dark side, I think I learned a lot about myself. Like when I was like, oh my God.
The dark circles under the eyes.
Just like, he just.
What?
And
that one little ponytail. Now, he does look like Jay.
Oh, I think when he's younger, he does.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
But
a small concession.
But Dark Anakin doesn't.
No, Dark Anakin not at all. Not with the broody.
But like he was like turning to the dark side, but it was because he loved Padme so much.
Yes!
I was like, he loves her so much that he's so scared of losing her that he wants this power. I was like, I love him.
Exactly. Oh my God. I just love him with my whole entire heart.
You know, I stand with the first episode 1 is bad, but I will defend episode 3 with my life.
And it's really it's episode 3, right? That has the scene rolling in the grass, or is that episode 2?
I think that's episode 2 when they're falling in love, but he's not supposed to, which is also very hot.
Yes, forbidden love. Yes. We were trained from an early age.
That's right.
Yeah, we knew. Thanks, y'all.
Love you.
You're the best. Thank you, A. That's your podcast name.
Okay, so there are worse things in life. Wet socks, PMS, Star Wars prequels, oatmeal raisin cookies that look like chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, that betrayal.
Yeah. Slow Wi-Fi, climate change, income equality, dandruff, traffic, the finale of Game of Thrones. Yeah, that was terrible. Tarantulas, yes. Food scented soap, also yes. People who hate soccer. Well, I don't really like soccer that much, but that's okay. We're a football town.
We really are.
American football.
We can't help it.
Daylight savings time, when it moves an hour ahead, not behind. Toxic masculinity, the unjustly short lifespan of guinea pigs. All of these, just to name a small handful, are truly terrible, dreadful, horrific things.
They really are.
Because such is the way of the universe. It's full of bad, sad, upsetting, unfair, enraging circumstances, and I should know better than to pout like a 10-year-old who's half an inch too short for the roller coaster when Faye tells me behind the counter of her small coffee shop, sorry, honey, we're all out of croissants.
Just nonsense. Like, where is this going? And then it lands.
We're all.
Thank you, Allie Hazelwood.
Look, and I can relate. Like, nothing will make me cry faster than like me having my heart set on something like that, and then not being able to get it.
That is
for one time in my life, I know what I want, and then I can't have it.
I feel clarity about what I want, and I can't have what I want. Of course I can't.
I can't have the bread that I want.
I can't have the kind of bread that I want. Well, and unfortunately, I am a gluten-free baby. It happened since way before it was cool, unfortunately. And I really do.
And not because she thinks it's cool.
I assure you, it is so fucking frustrating. Look, if y'all want to do gluten-free, cool, good for you. But this is not a preference, and I hate it when people say that. Like I genuinely will get very ill. But anyway, dietary restrictions suck. But whenever there's something that like I want, like yesterday, I drove around for so long because the Lord's Chicken was closed.
It's like it's so limited.
I do not support Chick-fil-A and their policies.
No,
I do not. But they have gluten-free food.
Yeah,
that
I
can
eat grilled chicken there.
And it's moderately good. Like, it's really frustrating.
I love the grilled nugget. That's usually what I get.
Well, and especially when I'm going, like, I'm in between things. Like, I can't sit down and eat a salad because anywhere you can get a salad with grilled chicken and it's gluten-free, but it just gets so old.
Yeah.
So, yes, I relate with her disappointment about the horrific things in this world.
It's hard.
Not being able to eat a croissant.
That's right.
You know why she can't eat that croissant?
Well, Yes. I'm about to tell you.
Please do.
Page 136. I fall silent. For no real reason other than because of how striking he looks. He's just so Scandinavian, maybe? Viking-like. Norse. Like his ancestors frolicked below the Aurora Borealis on their way to funding IKEA. He's a white dude. Stupid. He's as big as a Yeti with clear blue eyes and short, pale blonde hair. And I would bet my gift croissant that his name contains one of those cool Nordic letters, the A and the E smushed together, that weird O slashed through the middle, the big B that's actually two S's stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
Something that requires a lot of HTML knowledge to be typed. It takes me by surprise. That's all. And for a moment, I'm not sure what to say and just stare up. The strong jaw, the deep-set eyes, the way the angular parts of his face come together into something very, very handsome. Anna's type, who comes bearing baked goods.
Anna's type, who comes bearing baked goods. I am who I am. I don't know where it came from. I mean, we can trace it back to Harrison Ford. I think it also just has to do with it being the opposite of the biological men in my life who are biologically related to me. I think it really is that. Is just, I don't know. There's some science to diversifying our DNA that we are very, very attracted to people who look starkly different from our biological relatives.
That's right.
Yeah, so none of my family looks like that. We are all brown haired.
I think that's a good sign, I think.
Yes, I think it's 2 thumbs up. It's very good.
I know, and I think of my partner's family, I'm like, I look nothing like any of them. I'm approximately a foot shorter than every single person in that family.
It is really entertaining.
When you look at pictures of us, it's like everyone's super tall, and then I'm just like a little teeny tiny.
You're just this little smiling creature over here, adorable.
Curly hair everywhere.
Yes. Yeah, all of mine have the most blonde, curly, coarse, like thick hair, and all of my in-laws. And they all have their big blue eyes, and they're all very tan because they all, anyway, y'all, we're disclosing information that could be vaguely figured out who we are, and that's fine. But they live, close to the sun. They live close to the sun. That's all I'm saying.
That's right.
But and there I am with my long, straight brown hair,
pale skin,
yes, very Irish, Scotch Irish energy. Yeah, I look like my family. And so we like to diversify. Speaking of family and genetics, though, you decide if you're okay to have this on the pod. I have highlighted on page 13. She's talking about Gianna, who is her person that she works with. I try to ease Gianna's workload since she just had her first baby, who, incidentally, is 3 babies. Apparently, triplets do happen. And they're adorable, but they also wake one another up in the middle of the night in a spiral of sleeplessness and exhaustion.
That is true.
Have you ever heard people talk about how they naturally had 3 babies at one time? Have you ever heard people...
I've experienced this in my life.
Interesting.
But I'll let you all guess as to why I've experienced that in my life.
In any event, y'all, triplets are very entertaining. We know triplets. It's here in the book, out of nowhere.
Interesting.
Wow. This is where she says, I'm just a little superstitious. Just a tad.
Just a little stitious.
Just a little stitious.
That's
y'all,
right.
An Office reference. We got The Office. We got Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift everywhere.
She's a girly. I know. The references are plentiful.
Oh, yeah. Page 139. He looks like the corporate version of Thor, like Platinum Ragnarok. Yeah. Now, look, if you throw in an eye patch and then like an undying love for a brother that tried to kill you once, like, I'm into that.
Sure.
Thor Ragnarok is like my exact type of Thor that I would like to... Like, long-haired Thor I'm not into.
Okay.
But chopped off Thor with the eye patch.
With the eye patch.
I'm into that.
So a little more edgy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A little dark. His hair's a little darker. He doesn't have the highlights.
Okay, yeah.
In the earlier versions of Thor, they dyed his eyebrows. So he had blonde eyebrows, but they stopped doing that.
Oh, interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I've passively watched much of the Marvel Universe. I can't keep track of it. I think my brain is full of other information.
There's a lot of information to take in.
Yeah, there's a lot of it, and I can only do so much.
Yeah.
But you could host a whole Marvel spinoff.
That's for my other podcast.
Your other podcast where you review...
This is
your PowerPoint.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That
I
does belong
forgot
on this
about that.
podcast.
That would hold up. If we ever did a visual thing, explain your PowerPoint real quick.
I have a very in-depth PowerPoint entitled "Rating My Daddy Issues Based on How Hot I Find Each Marvel Character."
It's so
and it goes through a lot of the characters, explaining like how high are my daddy issues based on how much I like this character and what qualities of these characters do I find attractive. I talk a little bit.
This was 2 or 3 Moscow Mules.
Yeah.
We were all.
I talk a little bit about Bucky's metal arm.
You sure do.
I'm just interested in one.
You're interested.
I've seen him choke people before. I'm just interested. I don't.
You would like to try that out.
I just want to, for science, really.
Bucky. Oh my God. Oh my
Sebastian
God.
Stan. I named my virtual child after
You
him.
did. I forgot. Yes. Oh my
was
God.
like, this is-
wow. These are some deep cuts. Wow. I've
If any of
associated
y'all
with a
went to
lot
grad
since
school
then.
with us, my virtual child was named after Sebastian Stan.
Red flags. There are red flags. The mental health of these girlies are quickly declining. They are not well.
They made us take care of a virtual child.
They did. As if we remember. Did you ever have to like take care of a boiled egg and like keep it alive? Or maybe in high school you
we did like a
had to carry around a baby.
sack of flour.
A sack of flour?
Our we had a family studies class that had the animatronic babies.
Wow.
But my it was basically home ec, but it was family and consumer science. We did like sacks of flour.
Oh my God, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
I, having not gone to school, just on Zoom, if any of y'all ever enjoyed watching Zoom, we did the boiled eggs. I did that with them at some point. I think it was Zoom. And I had like took care of a little boiled egg and kept it from getting broken.
Take care of it.
As the
the same thing as a baby.
turntables, I've spent many years of a career now caring for the education and development of little people. And you know what? They've all lived.
It's gonna be all right.
Speaking of little people, Sadie has a guinea pig.
She does.
I had guinea pigs.
You did.
Indeed, I did. Would you like to know more about my guinea pig real quick?
I would love to know more about your guinea pig.
I think the fact that we're on a timeline is making me want to draw this out longer.
I know.
I think I'm like, I have a story for you, actually, right?
And in my brain, I'm
now.
like, we gotta go.
Some part of me is like, ooh, this is creating some resistance and some tension. Let's lean into that. Wow. His name was Benny. He was perfect.
Cute.
He was so chubby. I just loved him with my whole heart. He was such a squeezy guinea pig. If any of y'all have ever had guinea pigs, strange pet, perhaps. Not as strange as a ferret or a rat.
What is a guinea pig?
Small pig.
I know. Are they in the
oink.
wild? What do they exist in the same thing with hamsters? Do hamsters exist in the wild?
They can't.
What's going on?
It's a great question.
Where do they come from?
They get lost. I don't know. Really, if you've ever like wandered to the left side of a PetSmart, it's always the left, right?
Yeah.
Like the right
Where all
side.
the weirdos are hanging out.
Right
like there's
side of a
puppies
pet
over
store.
here, and then there's just like snakes and birds.
Snakes, birds. We've had all of these pets, to be really clear. Snakes, birds, gerbils.
Ooh, not a gerbil.
Oh yeah, we had a whole bunch of gerbils. They were very cute.
Yeah, write in if you've ever dated a guy that had a ferret.
A fert. If y'all have watched, what's his name? I've been watching these videos on TikTok. Y'all, anyway, somebody will remember, but he goes on ferts.
Oh, is it the creepy like?
Yes, Creepy Dave.
Yes, creepy Dave.
Oh, I've watched so many at this point.
I watched his Pitbull one where he's like, their head looks like a bicycle seat, but not a normal
old person bicycle seat. There's so many lickings. Yes, I sat there and watched that for many hours last night. I just like inclusion. I like people of all identities and all persuasions being included. And I just really appreciate that Allie Hazelwood is... I mean, maybe she's giving Manic Pixie Dream Girl. I don't know. I think she's pretty great. I think we like
The
Sadie.
best friend in Love Theoretically had a weird pet.
Wait, what did she have?
A hedgehog. Hedgezabeth.
Hedgezabeth. Jizz? I think not. Well, it's good for this pod.
Maybe that's an Allie Hazelwood thing.
Perhaps.
Just a strange pet.
Perhaps. But yes, I've got it here. It's adorable.
On page 147, I like to think of it as more of a way to bind myself and celebrate the traditions of my previous successes, and less as establishing an empirical causal connection between the color of my underwear and future events. So she wears lavender panties when she has to give a pitch.
Yes.
Because I guess the first time she did it, she was wearing lavender panties, and it went well.
Just a little stitious.
You just keep telling yourself that, babe. This is some OCD kind of tendencies.
This is a little intense. It's interesting.
And I don't mean OCD in like the colloquial way. I mean like
no, actually,
intense patterns of behavior.
some real rigidity there. And I'm a little intense. I get it. I get intensity. Needing to wear lavender panties and have a croissant, or you'll break apart, and you'll absolutely, that's some real OCD. Maybe a little bit of neurospicy.
That's okay.
And it's okay. We're just saying we want you to be okay.
Yeah.
And we want you to be
reflect on maybe
enough.
why you think that you need that.
And that part of you who needs it to be exactly the same. We get it. We love that part so much. And let's experiment with maybe sometimes wearing the lavender underwear. We just want balance. We want flexibility.
That's right.
Love y'all.
Though Eric is very into the lavender. He wanted to know.
Oh my God.
He wanted to know so much more about those lavender panties. Well, he kept saying purple, but specifically it's lavender haze. It's lavender.
It's lavender. Yes, this is lavender haze. We know exactly what's happening here.
Yes, all of this is lavender
Allie
haze.
Hazelwood is a Swiftie.
Page 152. She's talking to Eric, this is her inner monologue. Ask me, I think, at him, because I want to try that French bistro that you know with you and talk more about money laundering and the whole systems approach to environmental engineering and purple underwear that is actually lavender.
That is actually lavender.
Ask me, Eric Nowak. Ask me. There are cars in the distance and people laughing and emails piling up in my inbox 18 floors above us, but my eyes hold Eric's for a long, stretched out moment when he smiles at me. I notice that his eyes are just as blue as the sky. This is like... This is giving
smut.
New York City rom-com, like a 2010s,
Yes!
like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Like, that's what I feel when I read stuff like this.
It's euphoric.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's a real, like, they're falling in love, and I mean, it gets very enemies to lovers and forbidden love and forced proximity, and we love to see it. And it's the charm. The charm is too good. She wants him to fall in love with her.
That's right. Page 154. But
154?
Well,
Oh.
I'm in the middle of a...
Does this book have 154 pages?
It surely does not.
Okay, sorry. Thank you for...
The three books together do.
Yes.
So this is somewhere probably early chapter 3 or 4.
Sure.
Something like... No, chapter 5.
Perfect.
But I am sure that Eric could easily lift me up. Okay, so this book does go back and forth. So in the present, they are stuck in an elevator together. And in the past, they have, like, had a meet cute and, like, spent some time together. And so when she's in the elevator, sometimes she has, like, flashbacks to when they, like, were together. That's what this is.
The time, yes, because present is in the elevator.
Yeah, they're stuck together. Forced proximity. Well, see, this one's weird because it's like meet cute to lovers to enemies to lovers.
Yeah, it's to that reviewer who said that Allie Hazelwood always writes the same book. She would never. She definitely doesn't write the same book every time. She generally writes on the same themes, and that's why we love her.
I like it.
I was reading a 1-star review to Katie, and it's truly horrible. Y'all who leave 1-star reviews, are you okay? Who hurt you?
Yeah.
Seriously, please take your aggression out literally anywhere else.
I mean, you don't have to, if you don't like the book, you don't have to leave a review about it. You can just not.
Yeah, please, if you feel 1-star about a book, that's okay. We feel 1-star about many books, but we don't leave 1-star reviews because life is too short.
I don't have time.
I was saying something about that I can't recall, but 1-star review. Oh, the same book. Yes, this is different.
Yeah.
This is different.
Meet cute. I love it.
Yeah, we love it.
Okay, I am sure that Eric could easily lift me up. I mean, he's done it before, on several occasions, in the span of 24 hours we spent together. Like, when we got hungry halfway through the night, he picked me up like I was a 4-pound kitten, deposited me on his kitchen counter while I gasped in awe at his beautiful, overfull fridge, and then proceeded to inspect an extensive series of Chinese leftovers before sharing them with me. Not to mention that other time when we were in his shower and he put one hand under my ass to push me up against the wall, and then she trails off. And I am interested in what the rest of that sentence is. I was like, and what? Please.
We call this foreplay shadowing.
Foreplay shadowing. That's right.
Whew.
That is
God.
right.
So hot. Yeah, this is definitely, we have another height difference. We have a barely 5 feet and a 6'3".
That's right.
Somewhere between 6'3" and 6'6".
It's hard to tell because she's so small.
It's hard to tell from that vantage point.
She's so little.
She's so small. What's she going to do about it?
Page 155. Then again, I'm also aware that this is not the first time Eric seems to know exactly what's going on in my head. He was pretty good at it during our dinner together, and then later, of course, in bed. But in this house, i.e. my brain, we do not acknowledge that.
My house is a little English cottage.
Yes, I know. I was like, I love knowingly not acknowledging things. Like in my own brain, it's like, in this brain, that's not real.
In this brain, in my reality,
I don't accept.
In my reality, I reject whatever the fuck you're saying.
That's not real.
That is kind of what we do. We say that does not belong to me. That is not.
In this brain, I do not accept. No,
my concept of time is very individual to in my house. My concept of time
live only in your house.
I'm sorry to anyone who I've ever been late to meeting you somewhere. I'm good at other things. That's all I have to say about that.
Yes, you are. You are. Mm-hmm. She brings the party. She shows up 30 minutes late, but the party comes with her.
I'm so sorry. I go through different stages where I feel a lot of shame and guilt about it, and then sometimes I'm like, I can't change this.
Yeah. I
am 31 years old. Truly, the only way I can be on time to things is just to tell myself it is a solid, 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. I have to lie to myself.
Yeah.
I can do it. I can. And I am, hopefully my clients will never listen to this. But if they ever did, they know I'm always between... I'm sometimes early. I'm literally always on time for those. But
that matters.
Or the GRE. I'm on time to think. Mm-hmm. Okay, sure. I'm protesting too much. Y'all get the point. I'm capable of it sometimes.
Okay, page 160. So this is this Sadie?
Yes.
Okay.
There's 3 girlies. We read them all at once.
Yes. So Sadie had a long-term relationship with a guy, and it was long distance. They didn't. It wasn't super love. It was just comfortable and fine. Sure. And then he broke up with her. He met somebody. It's fine. He met somebody else, and he called her crying. And was like, "I'm so sorry, but I actually met someone that I love," which sucks.
A nightmare.
And so she's talking to Hannah and Mara, and she said, For about 10 days, I was utterly soul-smashingly heartbroken, and then I was more or less fine. And that's the song.
A sign.
That's the song of heartbreak. I mean, the 10 days thing is scalable, obviously, but eventually you will be more or less fine, and eventually you'll be more or less great. You'll be fine.
Honestly, it's wild. I think, yeah, I could go on and on about heartbreak. I've had a pretty dramatic one. Unfortunately, I don't wish it on anyone. It's nothing to brag about, but it's, and yet here we are. And how do you communicate that to people who are in the middle of maybe their first big heartbreak, and it feels like the world's ending? And I, not to diminish it, I completely relate. Yeah, it does feel like the world's ending.
Yeah.
And y'all, and especially any of our angels who are listening and who've experienced something like this recently, or who are in the thick of it, you're going to be okay.
You're going to be more or less fine.
You're going to be more or less fine. And not because you get another partner who's amazing. That's not what does it. We'd like to think that another partner fixes what's broken within us, but no, actually, we are capable of healing.
Yes. I always think of the Ariana Grande song, Thank You Next. I met someone else. We're having better discussions. Her name is Ari.
Yeah.
I met me. And
I met me.
Yeah.
And she handles hard shit.
Yeah. It's she taught me love, she taught me patience, and she handles pain, and that shit's amazing.
And that shit's amazing. That's right.
Yeah.
She taught me love, she taught me patience. She handles pain, that shit's amazing. There's just something about growing up. I'm really a fan of maturing into a grown-ass woman.
Yes.
Who is able to, and that's no shade to my younger parts of me.
Yeah.
I was doing the best that I could with what I had.
We have compassion for our younger versions of ourselves.
And that is one of the many reasons why we have so much compassion for the younger people who we work with. Mm-hmm. We have a sense of humor, though, because we know, that's the best you can do right now, and
you're going to be all right.
You're going to be all right, I promise. Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah.
We've made it through.
That's right.
But yes, that's beautiful that they said that in here. And for this one, it really is a sign that in this little relationship that she had, it wasn't the real deal.
Yeah. I mean, it was comfortable. I mean, it wasn't bad or dramatic or anything. It was just like, oh, this is who I'm with, and we don't ever see each other, but that's okay.
You know, y'all, let's examine that. If you're ever in a relationship where that's all right to you,
Yeah.
there might be something else going on.
Yeah. And it also goes to show it doesn't always have to be big dramatic ending. Like,
Ooh, good point.
Maybe you'll be sad for a few days and then you'll be like, you know what? I'm good.
Maybe it fizzles out.
Yeah.
And you move on to other things. Life is weird.
You date Matty Healy.
Maybe you date Matty Healy and then those tweets get found and you change your mind.
Then we bully you into dumping him.
He's not my dad. You're not my real dad.
You're not my real dad.
Yeah, none of us were
You know
into
what?
that.
If you
This
wanna-
is about Matty Healy.
If you wanna date a Matty Healy type, I support. After 7 years with a guy who didn't marry you, you're allowed to do whatever you want.
Yeah, I'll never forget that girl at the Nashville Eras tour.
That's the guy I'm dating after Joe Allen.
Because we were all hating on Matty Healy before the opener, whoever.
It was Phoebe Bridgers. Well, he was on stage with Phoebe.
Yes. And so we were like, oh my God. And she just very sincerely was like, you know, that's exactly who I would date. Getting out of a
I'm
She's
finding
like, I'm there.
a rabid raccoon. I'm just gonna date it.
I dated a gay man after that. So blissfully telling myself, no, he's not gay.
The closet's glass, but no.
For both of us, the closet's glass. I'm sorry. I need to reconnect with him and tell him I'm so sorry for anyway. God, yes, you do stupid stuff.
Yeah. You know
After
what?
a long, hard relationship.
But then, it leads you get some fun stories out of it. So
You get some great stories.
do what you want
for your podcast.
for your future podcast
Y'all
that you'll
just
start
live your
with a
life.
50-year-old woman.
The sex podcast. What's the red, white, and royal blue line that Brandon quotes all the time? If you never leave your house, like nothing will ever happen to you.
You can stay you can stay locked up in your castle, but nothing will ever happen to you. Nothing will ever happen to you.
But that means that nothing will ever happen
You
to you.
can protect yourself and be safe, and that's fine, but nothing will ever happen to you.
Words to live by.
Yeah.
What is it? Ships are safe in the harbor, but that's not what ships
That's
were
not
built
what
for.
ships are made for.
Yeah, that's not why we have them. Like they're safest there. Yeah.
Sure.
Like you can never date anyone. And yeah, you will be safe.
But then you'll never date anyone.
You'll never date anyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't have the joy without the hiccups, the mistakes.
Yes. It all goes together.
Yeah,
hand
you
in
can't have
hand.
the smutty goodness without kissing a few frogs.
That's right.
Life lessons from Anna and Katie.
That's right. Page 166. Mostly, I'm wondering whether he likes what he sees, which is a bit different. I feel sometimes that I've lost the habit to wonder whether I'm pretty in favor of agonizing over other qualities. Do I look professional, smart, organized, someone who should be taken seriously, whatever the hell that means? I generally find the idea of men commenting on my attractiveness, favorably or otherwise, repulsive. But tonight, right now, the possibility that Eric might find me beautiful uncurls warmly at the base of my stomach. I also generally find it repulsive when men comment on what I look like. Especially men that I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But it is it's so complicated to dress to make you feel like yourself.
Yeah.
While also especially in a work setting where it's I want to dress the way that I feel congruently, but also a person that has a master's degree and is supposed to be here.
Yes. I think there's a lot to be said for that. God, we could have a whole podcast about how to dress as a female identified person. I mean, I think we have it easier than some of our friends who are trying to dress in a way that's congruent while staying safe, it's gender identities get really complicated when we're talking about how we dress, but it is in professional settings especially, it is an interesting, and I see lots of people do it lots of different ways. We wear lots of different things. And yeah, you're in a high school, and so that gets even weirder because you want to dress like an adult, but you still think that whatever's in an Abercrombie is cute.
Right.
And that's also sometimes what the teens have on. And so then that gets weird. And yeah, I've gone through a whole journey, having been raised in a cult. I've gone through a whole journey about what to put on my body. I was just saying today, I feel weird in my crop top.
Yes. I know, I often notice, I do wear, professional, it's clothes, but,
Sure.
sometimes I'll wear like my black jeans and my nice shirt, but like also wear my Air Force Ones and like carry my Stanley around. And like I look around and it's like I have 3 students that I know of that have the same exact Stanley that I do.
Yes.
And like they also wear their white Air Force Ones, and I'm like looking around and I'm like, you know what? I'm supposed to be here. That's okay.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be here. It is a way to signal that like, yeah, like we're in the same culture.
Yes.
And it is a really sweet, I want to be authentic to myself. And that's been harder. Maybe it's been harder for some of y'all in adulthood to figure out. But I want to be me. Mm-hmm. And I think I have finally kind of hit my stride with it, which is just to, if I like it, I wear it. That's helped a lot.
If I like it, I wear it.
And you know what? This is so true. If somebody feels comfortable and feels like themselves in whatever they're wearing, they look great.
100%.
They look, and you know, we can have a professional version of that. And for me, it's lots of peasant tops and flares.
Yeah.
And I love a retired art teacher energy.
Yes.
And it works for me, and it feels congruent whether it's super in style or not. And I feel like me.
Yeah.
So
that's all we ask.
Confidence comes from that. But yes, it can feel weird with men because I'm not trying to be sexual.
I'm just wearing clothes.
I'm just wearing clothes, but sometimes I just look good in my clothes.
Sometimes
what can I say?
Sorry.
It's tough. It's tough to be us.
It's tough to be really hot.
It's tough to be as hot as we are. Whoops.
Page 179. It's orange, round, and glowering at us. Hi there. I take a few steps, cautiously holding out my hand. The cat glowers harder. Aren't you a nice little kitten? Mm-mm. He isn't. Eric is taking off. Eric is taking off his shoes and hanging his jacket behind me. Nice, that is. What's his name? Cat. Cat, like cat. He says. Final. I decide not to press him. I'm not sure why, but I pegged you as more of a dog person. I am. Yeah, so he's taking care of his brother's cat.
He is so
an orange
intense.
round cat like we have in this room.
We also have an orange round cat.
Yes.
Cats are so interesting. As I, similar to Eric, am a dog person.
I wrote we are dog people on this podcast. However, we support cat lovers. Obviously, Taylor Swift is a cat person.
A huge cat person.
Yeah.
I do not make broad sweeping statements about people's character and like worth as a human. If they like cats versus dogs, I love all animals. I'm a big animal person. You know, wanted to be a vet, all the stuff. Like I just have always bonded. It's just I've analyzed it. There's lots of complex reasons for why I've bonded so closely with dogs. They're very important to me, though. I brief short story, but my middle name. Long story short, my mom would call me Anna Cat. I didn't like cats. I didn't like being called Anna Cat. I said no.
No.
I request to be addressed as Anna Dog.
I am Anna Dog.
And to my dismay, that just never really caught on. And I still don't quite get it. But no one would call me Anna Dog, but I would sign my papers Anna Dog.
That's right.
I was Anna Dog. I loved dogs.
Dogs are very special.
They're very important to me.
Mm-hmm,
so,
me too.
Yes, we love our cat people. And tell your dog I said hi.
Yes. Give your dog a little pat for us. Page 183. We're getting a little spicy.
Whoops. She heard that you love her.
I do love her. He is hard, and I can feel exactly how hard. He wants me to feel it, I think, because his hand slides down to my ass and pulls me into him. I squirm, twisting my hips experimentally, and he groans ruggedly into my mouth. Be good, he chides. Stern, a little rough. He grips me tight and holds me against him, and I unexpectedly shiver at the command in his words. I wrote, yes. I am also shivering. Or maybe the word is quivering.
A pussy quiver? Are you speaking to a pussy quiver?
No.
That is, we're referencing Armchair Expert. And right. If I had $1 for every time Daxary Shepherd, Daxonicris Shepherd said, I listen to them a lot. He says, he just asks Monica casually if she gets a pussy quiver. I'm like, you can't just ask people. Well, that's my girlfriend's that.
Sure.
Specifically you.
Yes.
But you know, all of those with female genitalia understand what we mean when we say pussy quiver.
You know what we mean.
There's some action going on.
Eric stands in front of me, naked, tall, and big, like a minor deity from some Norse pantheon. A reserved one who liked to keep to himself, but would still get a couple of Baltic Sea islands named after him. Hey, look, a minor deity is all we're asking for. Nothing
a minor
big.
deity.
That's not too much to ask. I don't think. Just a
high
minor.
lord. A high lord,
A high
really.
lord.
And our standards are low. We just need for him to be the most powerful high lord. I don't know. Just be in charge of things.
Oh no, my next note. Okay, so when I wrote this note, I was like, this is a hilarious joke, and I can't wait to say it on the podcast. And
What time of day was it?
You know what?
How inebriated were you?
This was stone cold sober at 1:00 in the afternoon.
You have no excuse.
I have no excuse.
I forgive you for nothing.
Eric has hooked his fingers into the plastic, please.
Ladies.
I'm going to try that again.
Don't be wearing plastic on anything.
Eric has hooked his fingers into the elastic of my panties and taken them off.
Yes, he has.
He's kissing down my hip bones, full lips pressed into my abdomen, and I know exactly what he's planning to do. But I cannot stop thinking that he's really very big, and his forearm is laid out across my stomach, pinning me to the bed. And I met this guy this morning, and even though I did briefly Google him to make sure his real name wasn't Max McMurderer, and I don't know anything about him, and he's much larger and stronger than I am, and am I even good at this? And he could do whatever he wanted with me, and he could make me, and I feel hot, and I feel cold, and I cannot breathe, and stop. So relatable. But also, my note that I wrote here is...
I'm dying to hear your note.
Y'all know that TikTok sound that's like, I'm getting ripped tonight. R.I.P. that pussy.
No, actually, I really don't, Katie. What corner of TikTok are you on?
I'm on the normal side.
Wait, who sings this?
I don't know.
No, but say it again.
Well, I'll just read my...
Full judgment. I have so much judgment for you right now.
He is not Max McMurderer, but maybe he will be later after he R.I.P.'s that pussy. And then I wrote, anyway, bye. It's been fun.
Anyway, bye.
It's been fun.
You were like, wait a minute.
I'm going to sign off.
I can incorporate the slaying, the McMurdering into a joke. I will make this humorous quip right
she's having
here.
a panic attack.
Actually, you know what? I'd like to deflect from her feeling overwhelmed. And instead, I would like to make a joke. Good job, Katie.
Don't worry.
That was really humorous at 1:00 in the afternoon. Good work.
Don't worry, well, they do talk through it. It's fine.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
A consent king.
Yes.
We've never had.
He's like, hey, we don't got to do anything.
It's beautiful. That Allie Hazelwood.
Yeah.
She knows it. She knows how to make it good.
Page 187. You are a brilliant engineer who knows the Premier League stats of the past 3 decades off the top of your head. Physically, you are the uncanny combination of every single feature I've ever found attractive.
Oh.
No, I will not expand on that. I wish you would. And you saved me on your phone as Corporate Thor, even after I gave you my full name. I wasn't sure about the spelling, and you saw that? Yep. His hand comes to cut my cheek. This is it, Sadie. I don't think there's any fucking this up.
They're in love.
I know. There's dirty talk, and then there's dirty talk.
Yes.
And I wrote, Thor Eric can do both.
Thor Eric can do both. We can do a praise kink.
Get your man who can do both.
Seriously, because it's the genuine. He's got the genuine down, like the love. It's romance and smut.
Yes.
There's a really perfect cross section that we're really nailing.
This is another one of those, like, he falls immediately, like, the moment he's like, oh, this is her.
Yes.
This is her.
And it's not just because she loves football.
No. Because
mostly because she has a guinea pig.
She has a guinea pig, and she's every single physical feature he's ever found attractive.
Ah,
I know.
So sweet.
Even her teeny tiny little boobs.
But everybody has teeny tiny little boobs. Allie, come on.
I can't relate. But.
Yeah, some of us don't, but okay. But no, it's just, she nails it. It's adorable.
It is. Page 190. But then his hands close around my waist, and he shifts me up and up and up until my knees are pressing onto the mattress on each side of his neck. And I remember exactly what he'd been about to do before we stopped. Big light bulb energy. Oh my God.
Big light bulb. Oh, I am sitting on his face.
That's right. I wrote, I'm down to be on my knees in exactly this way.
I will in fact. I will edit. I will get on my knees in specifically this.
In this exact way.
Well, and in another way, but mostly this one.
Yes, mostly this one.
So good. I saw an excellent little research article moment that was breaking down the science of female sexuality, and it was talking about how the beauty of female sexuality is just the pure narcissism of it.
That's right.
Women love being turned on. It's very important. But also, and this is, very heteronormative sex, but this is what the research was on. Of course, I'm sorry, I agree that we need to fund more diverse research. And this was cool because it was talking about how female sexuality, the male partner is getting turned on by seeing the woman turned on.
Yes, correct.
The woman is getting turned on by
receiving
and getting turned on.
Yes.
Like, it's such it's like a little feedback loop. It really is. But I was talking about this with Jay, and he was like, no, that's literally what it is. Like, I'm turned on because you're enjoying this.
Yeah.
And sex is no longer fun if you're not enjoying this.
Exactly.
And he's like, I'm not turned on if you're not turned on. And I'm
it's
like,
not hot for me if you're not turned on.
God, this has really worked out for us.
Yes.
That's just all I could think was like, you know what? I think I got the better end of the deal.
That worked out really well for me.
I think that this my experience of sexuality is fun. That's all. That's all that I learned from that research. It was really fun. But yes, she, on her knees.
On her knees.
That's what we're saying.
Later on the same page, you're doing so well, Sadie, he murmurs into my core, and the words vibrate all the way up my spine. Jesus Christ. That's just a taste, you all.
Smut.
Uh-huh.
This is page 65, halfway through, so I think this is far before, but for some reason my thing opened to this. But we have this is similar to Dr. Jack fucking Smith's fucking Turner, in that this is when they are having their first night together.
Yes.
And we love consent, but I love the clear communication too of like, hey, we could just hang out tonight.
We could just chill.
Or we could have sex. And I still care about you and want to pursue this regardless of which we do.
Yes.
I am open to both. There's such safety in that.
There's such safety in that, and that's like a guaranteed way to get a girl to fuck you.
Like, I'm gonna choose to have sex with you.
Yes. Like if you tell me that we don't have to,
it works every time.
We will.
I think Jay's figured it out. Yeah. Honestly, he's had to have figured it out because he's reached this point where he's like, it's totally up to you, like no pressure. And I'm like, well, God, now I want to.
Yeah.
Because you took the pressure off.
Now that you told me that we don't have to, we are going to.
Now that I cannot have. But no, he's very like neutral and beautiful.
Yes.
And about 2,000 highlights shows that everyone else agrees.
That's right.
In that sweet little section. So anyway, you fast forward to where you're at.
Not that far ahead.
Okay, very good.
Page 192. I've been thinking about eating you out all day, he says against my skin, which is sticky and drenched, and I cannot believe this is happening. I cannot believe this is sex. All fucking day. And I wrote, I'm going to be thinking about what I just read all fucking day.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be thinking about that.
You just think.
If you ever see me just like dissociate, just know that I'm replaying that scene in my brain.
Her stuff is like scientifically accurately filthy.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's beautiful.
And it's written, like, I can picture it exactly in my, like.
Yes.
The imagery is so beautiful.
Honestly, this is.
Read it.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, y'all. Turn it down at the Chick-fil-A drive-thru.
Turn it down.
I love his eyes on the spots where my nipples push up against my top. I love the feeling of my thighs being split wide by his torso. The hairs of his happy trail against my folds. I can have sex with him after all. I want to have sex with him. I might die if I don't have sex with him because right now I want us to be as close as we humanly can.
That's right.
There's romance and smut.
Yes, and then like I think the next line is like she's trying to put him inside her, and she's like, it doesn't fit. It's like false starts, and like we have to keep trying.
Yes,
and trying.
What a terrible thing to have to keep trying at. What? Yeah, that was the big light bulb energy place.
Yes, big light bulb energy.
So good, so good. But yeah, we are intentionally not reading some of the more vivid.
That's right. Ooh.
Wow.
Page 197. My note here just says, "I'm melting into a puddle of goo. Have lunch with me today. I don't usually have lunch, I tell him. I'm more of a big breakfast than 40 snacks scattered throughout the day kind of person. Have a big breakfast.
dinner.
That's right. Have a big breakfast and then 40 snacks with me.
Oh.
Okay.
And then he says, have a big breakfast and 40 snacks with me.
Whatever meal you're going to have.
Whatever girl dinner you're going to have, I want to have
I want to have that chicken nugget dinner with you. The chicken nugget and a glass of wine.
The dino chicken nuggets. Oh my God.
Page 214, my note says, so I think she mentioned lizard brains in Love Theoretically.
Sure.
And I remember being like, I want to know more about your lizard brain.
Can you tell me more?
And so she just makes lizard brains sound hot.
She really does. Because it's the animalistic. Like, yes.
And like
your basest desires.
1,000 other people highlighted this.
Oh, so hot.
And I've been scared like never before that I'd hurt you. He lifts his hand, curves it around my cheek, that I'd left you in any kind of pain, that I couldn't make amends, which let me tell you is no fun. And when you know in your lizard brain that you're about 5 minutes from falling in love with someone, he closes his eyes. Maybe past that, I can't really tell.
I can't really tell. He loves her.
He loves her so
good. Okay, I will say, if we're going to do the comparison thing, Under One Roof, we really didn't get a lot of Liam explaining, like falling in love with Mara. Like there wasn't as much like, I am completely ruinously in love with you and I don't know how, why, when. I'm in it.
Yes.
He does a gorgeous
I'm already
job.
right there.
Yes. Oh my God. So like, that's what I'm saying. Eric is doing, and that's what I believe Allie Hazelwood does some of her best work. Not just the sex, but explaining the love.
Yeah.
And especially from the male perspective.
Stating exactly how you're feeling.
So hot.
So hot.
For both of them. And it's beautiful to see like the girl like, I just met you. But like it's precious and I appreciate their perspective too.
Yes.
But I think she writes the male perspective really beautifully.
I know. I love it. It's a dream.
Poof.
Page
smut.
Page 228. Y'all turn this down.
Whoops. Continue. Read something filthy.
Page 228. The pressure is enormous.
Yeah.
Stretching and burning and familiar and inexorable and lovely. And all I could think of is how much I miss this. The sharp feeling of something that is too big, that's somehow meant to fit inside me. The way he mutters, sorry, please, more, almost there.
Oh my God. That's the too big dick trope. I make no apologies. I know it's stupid. I don't care. It's so hot. Whoops. Sorry.
It's fun if it hurts a little bit. I don't make the rules.
I don't know. Oops. Wow. Ouch.
I'm so small.
So tiny.
I'm just so little.
So miniature. I don't know things.
Look, Allie knows exactly what we like.
Yes, Allie knows we like science. This woman. God, and she deserves every penny that she's making. I hope that she quits that she's no longer using her PhD. She has a PhD in turning us on. She has a PhD in... Ouch. Good girl. She has a PhD in that. And God, I want to interview her.
Folks, that was my last note. Going to end it on a high one. Or a big one.
Something. Yeah, this one... There's two big sex scenes.
Yes, there's two.
There's technically two in Under One Roof too, because they do it at the kitchen and then in bed.
Yes, but it's like all one long.
Yeah, this is
two separate scenes.
There's technically a third act breakup, kind of, because which you'd be shocked, in less than 150 pages, she manages to have a third act breakup.
That's right.
It's kind of incredible. She's a witch. That's the only explanation. But yeah, she manages to take us on this roller coaster.
It's amazing.
It's a work of art.
I love it.
Did you expect these to be these?
I did not. Well, I expect there to be beautiful sex scenes, but not to the extent that they exist in this book.
Yeah, I know. Like, this is... Like, think about Love Theoretically, Love on the Brain. Like, those are beautiful sex scenes. I don't think I thought that a novella could contain...
Oh.
Such a thing.
Just like the most percentage of the book is just...
just like really accurate. Phenomenal.
Beautiful writing.
Beautiful. Yeah. Y'all, please enjoy these. Read them. We will be doing our final novella.
Yes.
Next week. We have covered Under One Roof and Stuck With You. And now we will go to Below Zero. It's going to get a little cold.
A little cold. That one is exciting. So you all know I love a fantasy of being rescued.
Oh,
This whole book is a rescue fantasy.
It sure is. Oh, but she's so strong. She doesn't need to be rescued.
And he doesn't want to do that project because it's too dangerous.
And he's going to do a protect.
He's gonna take a vacation and protect her.
Allie Hazelwood does not write all the same books.
No,
These
she
are
doesn't.
different plots. These are different. She's no spoilers, but she's in a cold place.
That's right.
She needs to be rescued. So good.
Eric, 5 in the sheets, obviously.
5 in the sheets. I would say he is more my God. These rating, I could really get my head about the rating.
I know.
I would say 4.5 in the streets because this is really my. This is just my vibe.
I agree. I like their banter. I think their banter was cute.
Their banter was really cute. We did get like more. It wasn't just like one long slow burn, one short slow burn, really. But
I love the whirlwind romance aspect of it.
just like,
it was
whoa,
very
whoa,
like
whoa.
romantic comedy. Yeah.
yeah, and I lived a whirlwind of romance, and it went well. So I think I really do like him. 4.5. We'll say. And we like, we love all of these heroines.
Sadie's a 5. She's awesome.
Sadie's fantastic. We love these strong women.
She's got a gerbil or a guinea pig or something.
Yeah.
She's a wacky, zany, goofy little critter.
She's a wacky, zany, goofy little critter. We're into it. And she's into some kinky stuff.
That's right.
And so are we. Our kinky Kindles.
That's right. Y'all, thank you so much for listening. If you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, please email us at ourkinkykindlespod@gmail.com.
Let us know.
Yes. Follow us on Goodreads, Our Kinky Kindles. Follow us on TikTok at OKKPod.
Read along with us.
And yeah, let us know what you want us to read. We've gotten a couple suggestions. We're going to do some Carly Fortune.
Yes, we are.
We're going to do Fourth Wing eventually.
One of these days.
Yes. So your requests have been heard.
They've been duly noted. We are thrilled.
We will get to them as soon as we've got room on the docket.
We're very busy. Love y'all.
We love y'all so much. Until next time, find you a corporate Thor. His penis is just a little too big. Oopsie.
Bye.
Bye.